Hey, it's Aaron from Gameenthus.com, and today I'm taking a look at Katana, which is a 1v1 samurai versus samurai strategy card game designed by Tracy Alan with illustrations by Raya Franklin. Katana's a 2-player game for ages 8 and up. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes. That's pretty accurate. So let's take a look in this very, very packed box and see what's in it. And some things that could not actually fit in the box, but that's okay. So most of this content did come in the box, with some exceptions I'll get into in just a second. So in the box you have 10 health cards, so these are all health. You have 12 armor cards that provide armor. You have 12 kami cards. Now kami cards are like, I think these are like deities that whose abilities can be channeled by the samurai that you're playing. The samurai you're playing are somewhat generic. The kami you choose are how you differentiate your abilities throughout the game. A couple interesting ones. Jizo, who has a passive ability of shatterproof armor, and also has an active ability of being able to shatter two enemy armor. So, and the formation of the card is how you lay out the health, which makes a difference. Their Kamikaze Attack is in the upper right corner, so Jizo's is 5, Fudo Miu's is 7, which is pretty high. We'll get more into some of these interesting combinations, like a game I had where I was Jizo, because I felt like, oh, shatterproof armor is a nice passive ability to have. That's pretty cool. But my 14-year-old, she picked Fujin, and her passive ability was to mimic the enemies, the enemy kami's passive ability. So we essentially both had shatterproof armor. So there's some interesting, it got real. These are 50 action cards. Action cards come in several flavors. They're almost like 3 cards in one. So you start off a turn with 5, and this one can purify. You can defend for 3, and then each card has a stance, meaning at the end of your turn, you can take another card from your hand, put it face down, and that's sort of an ongoing stance for the other player's turn. So you might want to do something thinking they might attack you. You might want to put down a defensive card so you're ready to defend yourself, which makes sense. Like this one is Reflect Attack. That's pretty useful. And you have cards that attack and defend. So this one attacks for 2 and defends for 2 with a stance of +1 defense. This one attacks for 3 and allows you to pollute the kami of your enemy. This will all make sense in a couple minutes. Just stay patient. Get some popcorn. Put a healthy amount of salt and or butter on it, or hot sauce. Hot sauce is really good on popcorn. And just, I'm going to get to all of that. It'll all make sense. So you can pollute, attack. So each card works in 3 different kind of ways, which is interesting. And then you have shrine cards. So this is just like a deck of just things that can hinder you. So this one, Incinerate, means you discard an action card. That will be a hindrance, obviously. Recovery, gain health. So these are just a grab bag of things that can hurt you and help you. Anxiety, lose all attack bonuses. That's not really good. Invincibility. So you'll pull these up and hope for the best. This one is Maisma. Kami suffers pollution. That's not that great. Shatter, lose an armor token. So, like anything else, you hope for the best. These tokens here represent attack bonuses and pollution. So if you're polluted, you would put one of these on your Kami card to show your level of pollution. And if you have an attack bonus, you might just keep this out. And these came in this little baggie here, which is sort of paper clipped to the box. The box is kind of full. It's very full. It came with it has instructions, and it has a full, which is very helpful, a full turn, like a full game, described out, so you can kind of follow it to see exactly how it would flow. I thought that was interesting. And then this is the aforementioned paper clip that clipped this small baggie with the pollution and armor bonus tokens to the box. Riveting content, I know. So I'm going to choose Jizu, and okay, I'm going to choose Tenjin. Their passive ability is to draw up to 6 cards at the start of a turn and discard to 5. Their active ability is enemy must show stance next turn. Choose those 2, which also means I have to lay out their health as it is shown. So I will put this here because this is a deck to draw from, as is this. Shuffle it up a little bit there. Okay, so we put down the hearts first. Just for some clarification, as you saw on the action cards, some of them can pollute. So the first pollution on a Kami eliminates their active ability. The second eliminates their passive ability. The third banishes them, which means you have no more Kami, so you don't have anything to use anymore. In order to get a new Kami, if yours is banished, you have to give up 1 armor and a purify card, which would look like one of these. And then you'd reset your health, how that Kami would look. So that does offer some ability, like if you can't really defeat your enemy, but you can pollute them to a point where they can no longer have that Kami if their ability is just really getting to you, and you have that option. I'm gonna have Jizo go first. So there's 3 kind of things you can do in a turn. One of them is if you don't have 5 cards already, you would draw up to 5. Tenjin is an exception. Tenjin would draw up to 6 and then discard down to 5. But for most, you would draw up to 5 cards, take an action. Okay, so I'm going to attack my enemy for 3. That's what I'm going to do. And once somebody does attack you, you do have an option to defend yourself. So taking a look at the cards that Tenjin has on this side, I'm going to now, okay, I do have 2 purify and I have a pollute. I'm going to defend for 3. So at that point, I can continue to attack. I can't just switch it at this point. I can't just switch it up and then just choose a purify to use my active ability because I started an attack. So I'm going to attack for 2. And let's see. Okay. So then Tenjin is going to defend for 3, and then that's going to end it. So my attack did not work, and these cards get discarded. That was my turn. So now it's Tenjin's turn. So the first thing Tenjin is going to do is going to draw up to 6 cards. 3. One thing I did forget to mention is the shrine cards. When you use your Kamikaze Attack, you are able to take a shrine card. All right, it's Tenjin's turn. Tenjin is going to pollute Jizo. The first pollution eliminates my active ability. So my active ability was to shatter 2 enemy armor, so I cannot do that. And that is my turn. So I'm going to draw back up to 5. Because I have so many purify, I'm going to, it might be silly, but I'm going to draw a card from the shrine, and I get an attack bonus. So I'll just put that over there, and that is my turn. And in my long lineage of forgetting things to mention, you also can discard your entire hand, and draw new cards on your turn. That will be your entire turn. One thing I've been completely omitting from this is the stance card. I don't know why I'm doing that. So if you use a defensive stance, let's say Jizo puts this down face down, I'm going to use this as a defensive stance. So just I have a +1 on defense going into my opponent's turn. So let's say on Tenjin's turn, they're going to attack for 3. Now, at that point, I can flip this over. I have a defensive 1 by default, so I could just use that in conjunction with this. So it's more like I'm using this, and then I have successfully deflected their attack. However, if they did not attack, let's say they polluted me or did some, or just picked up a shrine card, if they don't attack me during their turn, then my stance goes away. I just have to discard it. So defensive stances go away if you were not attacked on the following turn, so they can't just stay there perpetuity for you to use to defend yourself. All right, so Jisu's going to do an attack of 2 and use an attack bonus, which means it's an attack of 3. Example's sake, so I'm being attacked by 3. Let's say I only have that 1. I defend by 1, which means I take 2 damage, which means I lose 2. I lose a shield and I lose some health. Let's say they're going to just go ahead and use their Kamikaze Attack for 5, which means their Kami goes away, so they no longer have a Kami. If the only thing I could do to avert being hit by a Kami attack is if I had put down a stance the previous turn that has reflect. It wouldn't reflect it. It would just nullify the Kamikaze. So reflect is pretty useful. So if you think somebody's going to use it, you don't know. You just put it down, and if they do, you can at least avoid the Kamikaze attack by reflecting it. But let's say I didn't do that at all. So I would get hurt for 5 damage. So I'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would hurt a lot. Now they have no Kami at this point, which means they have no passive or active abilities. And the only way they can get another Kami is to purify and give up an armor in order to get another Kami, which would mean they would get a whole new set of health. So it'll be incumbent upon me to try to take them out as quickly as possible before they get a chance to get another Kami out. They don't. You might not want to do that. You know, Kamikaze Attack wouldn't make much sense if you don't have any armor with which to get rid of, because you have to shed armor and purify to get another Kami. So I guess I might assume that they have purify. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Depends on when you do it. So that is the back and forth of Katana. That is how a game might go. I know I got to the attacking significantly later than I wanted to, but it is a strategy game. It is about positioning yourself and trying to anticipate what your opponent is going to do. Didn't play a whole lot of the shrine cards, but just some of the ones that are here. Omniscience, reveal all enemy cards. You can recover health. Boom. Draw up an additional action card. And then there's red ones that are often bad. So my final thoughts on Katana. I think it's a good game. I think it's very fun. I definitely like the components. I think the cards are really nice. The art is very well done. And just the overall, and just the flow of the game, just how each card really can do 3 different things. So I think it's pretty cool. And you can even maybe use your Kamikaze as a way of refreshing your health. If you're kind of running low, but you still have armor, and you have a Purify card, if you think you can withstand potentially another attack, you use your Kamikaze Attack to maybe wipe out your opponent. But maybe if it doesn't, you're hedging your bets that you'll be able to get another turn with which to get another Kami, reset your health to something new, and then keep going. So there is a lot of strategy in the game of figuring out what works best for you to do. So I definitely like that. It's definitely some interesting combinations, especially one where you have an enemy that has shatterproof armor, or an enemy that can copy or mimic what the other Kami can do. So you figure, oh, I have a great Kami, I'm going to wipe them out. And then they can mimic what you can do, you know? And then they pollute your Kami, nullifying your ability, but inexplicably keeping their own. We did have a 2 or 3 minute debate on, well, if you're mimicking mine and you polluted mine, does that mean yours is polluted? Our ultimate answer was no. Because pollution is not transferable, apparently. I just made that up. I have no idea. I don't have anything really negative about the game. I thought it was fun. Like if I had one thing negative, like it's not the kind of game where I think it's going to come to the table every week or anything. But when it does, we have fun playing it. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. There should be some things on screen you can click on that you can like and leave comments on. And that's going to do it for me. Wear a mask out there, stay safe, take care, be blessed.